Good evening, viewers. Sorry for the hiccup, but we're back. We believe that there were some hacking from the French, but we are not going to be deterred. We have now gone to the American system, or we shall use the German system. Thank you very much, viewers. This is Diplomatic Leaks. This is a program that brings out what ails Africa. What are the diplomats doing about Africa? What are they saying about Africa? What can be done? Is there any problem, conflict? Where can the international community help Africa? We are not only here to criticize diplomats. We want active diplomacy. But at the same time, we are not going to keep quiet and watch mistakes being done on our systems. The French are very good people. Not all of them are bad. We had presidents in France who have been very favorable in Africa. But of late, their policy is just to look for trouble. If you look at the French or African countries, viewers, all of them, 3/4 of them have war, or they are ISIS, there are rebels, they are terrorists, there's every fighting conflict. There is nowhere where there is peace in the French-speaking Africa. The worst thing that the French have done is to go and hijack our African Union. They have bought the chairman, Mr. Moussa Faki, who is a mercenary in our own organization. African countries were so foolish, they looked to the other side, they installed a puppet leader who acts like Idi Amin. He's worse than Idi Amin. He sacks people on radio stations, on text, gives them only 2 days and even 2 weeks to live. An African treating an African the way this man treated this lady from Zimbabwe, who was very active, who was against the French hegemony. Remember, I did an investigation. 4 pieces of intelligence gathered from inside Faki's seat, chair where Faki sits. I got everything of what she does, of what he does, what the women were doing, the molestation of women, sex, work for sex, sex for work. If you give your body, you get a job in African Union. That report is there. If you want to read it in full, 48 pages, you find it on www.panafricanforumltd.com. I did the second intelligence piece, how the French had captured the African Union, and the people were thinking I was wrong. They created an international a center for intelligence in Ethiopia, collected some intelligence officers from Africa purportedly to be gathering information. Among those paid, I'm going to name this week those who were paid, who have returned to their intelligence systems, who are undermining the credibility of African countries, including one who is now a full director of an African country, undermining that African country and bringing a regime change of George Soros. I got every detail again. How I get it, I am an investigative journalist. The French, again, through their double standards at the United Nations Security Council, stopped any move on Libya. Libya today is cut to pieces. Libya today is bleeding. The French have armed General Haftar, Khalifa Haftar, given him planes, given him guns, given him missiles to kill fellow Libyans in Tripoli. Today, the French again in Cameroon, Amazonia, they have looked the other way, while Mr. Paul Biya, an 89-year-old man staggering to go to heaven, or if he can go to heaven at all, killing his own Amazonians, while the French superpower on the United Nations Security Council sits and watches the killing of Amazonians. The French again, they are here in Central African Republic. The French again have left a war. Every day there are 2 Airbuses leaving Paris to go to Banjul. There are no tourists there. There is no tourism there. They go to carry diamonds and take them back to Paris, while the people in Central African Republic are dying. Let's move. The French again, Côte d'Ivoire, they went and arrested Babugo. They left Ouattara. Ouattara should have gone to face trial together with Babugo, because both of them had armies that were killing and maiming the people of Côte d'Ivoire. The French again, let's move. Democratic Republic of Congo. They wanted to install a puppet government. They failed. They have now started insurgency in Congo. There are new rebel groups emerging in Congo. ISIS has been airlifted from where it is. Remember, the French were the first people who went to Syria and brought the war we have today, where Turkey is sucked in this war.
It has been left alone now to fight.
And America has withdrawn, and they have left the Kurds to be slaughtered. The Kurds are now being slaughtered by Turkey like animals. There you are. I have been telling you that I will be vindicated. The French again, let's go. The French went to South Sudan for oil. Total Oil found no oil, or found the companies taken. They withdraw hurriedly from South Sudan. They came to Kenya and had a press conference and said, hallelujah, we did not find oil, so we have packed and left. The French again, the East African is in boiling point. Burundi. They went to Burundi. They installed and supported a man who changed the constitution and installed him. He doesn't leave the house. He has the toilet in the sitting room, the football field in the sitting room, everything, because he fears to be overthrown. There is a proxy war in this region. If people don't talk, I'm talking. The French again, there is a war, a proxy war between Uganda, Rwanda, and Burundi, each accusing each other of rebel activities. Who is behind this proxy war? Who's caused the proxy war in the region? If I have not touched across Somalia, Faramijo is dealing with the French at night through Qatar. Qatar is a puppet of the French. When Saudi Arabia refused their planes from flying through their airspace, French protested and they gave them cover. Up to today, the Qataris do a bidding for Total Oil. When they come to a country, they are not the one drilling the oil. They are the French drinking, eating, relaxing, washing your hands in the oil in Somalia. That's why we are now going to war.
And you've forgotten an important thing also in Burkina Faso. They're the ones who removed Thomas Sankara and brought in Blaise.
Yes, we are going. Today I was coming slowly.
Yes.
15th of October, the gallant son of Africa, Thomas Sankara.
Is it today?
Yes, today.
Okay.
The gallant son fell to the bullets of a puppet, a French puppet officer, who overthrew him, assassinated him, buried him hurriedly, left him to rot. To date, we just found the dead body and they have just reburied him. French. So you tell me, let's come. Equatorial Guinea. They deal with Equatorial Guinea. Human rights of Equatorial Guinea are so appalling to the degree that Jesus can only help them.
And that is where Yahya Jammeh is hiding.
Yes. They don't want to touch it. The whole entire Sahel region, Mali, Mauritania. Tell me where there is peace. Where is it? What is it? We have a tragedy. This is a tragedy of Africa. Time has come for Africa to stop the tragedy. Time has come for Africa to stand up, to be counted. Time has come for Africa to speak. Time has come for us to say, let's die poor and try to start again. If we were defeated after colonialism, 57 years of independence, Uganda should start afresh and say enough is enough. You cannot give 2,000 Ugandans, well educated from Makerere University, who speak very good English, better than Americans. You put sanctions on them. We are crippling our economy. If they have problems with these people, let the Uganda courts deal with them. I said the truth. You can't blacklist everybody. This is a new tool used by the CIA. Who gives this money to the opposition? A CIA branch of George Soros. Why is it that George Soros has never been arrested? Yet he lives very near Trump's tower. I've been to America. Trump's tower is very near. They oppose each other. Why hasn't Trump arrested George Soros? Who launders money? Who has a bank in Paris? You can imagine he can't open a bank in London. He has opened a bank in Paris. Why? Paris is a conduit of regime change in Africa. The French again, look at what is happening to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is on the verge of collapse. Zimbabwe is surrounded by Mafikizolos who want to overthrow Mnangagwa. But Mnangagwa does not look back. He's always flying. He's going to fly and fly no more again. I'm telling you. They are at the doorsteps. They have surrounded Mnangagwa. The system there are surrounded. There's a French mall I'm gonna name the French mall very soon. I've now got the data. Oh, kumbe, this is why they said they form something, intelligence in Ethiopia. Paid quietly, the dollars come into. This person is killing Africa and is gonna finish Mnangagwa. Emerson, if you are watching or your people are watching, get ready. It is exactly what we have done, Biamukama. The French are out here. There is a regime change. I don't care. Africa is captured. African Union is captured. You see? Africa is captured.
And in case your viewers, you're wondering, the premise of our conversation today follows the firing of Ambassador to the United States, the African Union Ambassador to the United States, Dr. Arikana Chilombori Ikwao, and this has angered thousands of Africans. And right now, there is even a petition being signed online demanding for her reinstatement. And what is very interesting is when she was being fired, she was never given reasons as to why she was being fired.
But you remember... You remember in the last piece of intelligence, the paper that I reviewed, 48 pages, I told people that this woman was going to be fired 6 months ago because I had received intelligence reports that the French were not happy with the way she was criticizing them at the United Nations General Security Council. As an ambassador for African Union, she also doubles to be on the Security Council, or she doubles to know what goes on as a permanent seat of the United Nations. Now, she was very critical of French involvement in some African countries. Can you believe that today there are some African countries where budgets are being done in Paris? And they are being told that you have to pay some money to Paris before it comes back to South Africans. You see? This is the problem of Africa. As a result of our cry, the chairman of the African Union today, I talked to the the spokesperson of the African Union, the lady by name Kolongo. We exchanged very hot words over this issue. And I told her, whether you write or you don't write, it is up to you. But today, this afternoon, we are going to expose you this night. The lady now wrote a statement, which you have. It is here. As a result of pressure from me. Thanks very much. My shouting does some things in Africa. This is a statement by the spokesperson to the chairperson of African Union, Eba Kalondo. She's a lady, and she speaks for Mr. Mohamed Faki Mosa of Chad. They have connived, issued a statement. They haven't even in the statement, it's so shallow. The English is very shallow. The English does not befit a diplomatic to be attached. They haven't explained why Dr. Arikana Chihombori Kuo was sacked. They waffled. We want the reason. We want the reason, or we split this AU. We shall split the AU, they can have what they want. We want the reason as why this woman, who was so good, working so hard in the United Nations, in America, exposing everything that the French were doing against Africa, she was sacked. I just want to know, if she stole money, we pay back that money. Africans can contribute $1. There are millions. I speak on behalf of millions who cannot come to this microphone and criticize the French like I'm doing. I speak like Nyerere, Nkrumah, Haile Selassie, Gabriel Nasser, Jomo Kenyatta, Sekou Toure, Kaunda, Samora Machel, Amilo Cabral, Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara, Muammar Gaddafi. Yes, Mandela. I speak like a Mugabe. I don't have a dam. I don't care a dam. I've acquired the education to the international status of the French. If they want us to speak, we can speak on the same language and the level. I am not going to be cowed down for not speaking for my Africa when my Africa is being condemned. When people are dying in Mediterranean Sea, I should keep quiet. When people are being killed in Amazonia, I should keep quiet. When people are being killed in South Sudan, I should keep quiet. When people are being killed in Biafra, I should keep quiet. When people are being killed in Central Africa, I should keep quiet. When DRC Congo is going on fire, I should keep quiet. Is it? Should I? No. I'll speak up to the last moment that God will take me away. But the French have told us a very bad thing in this continent. Look at the division of Kenya. You know, there is a problem where Kenya always says, we are all right. But who is telling Djibouti to file its candidature? Who is backing Djibouti for the United Nations Security Council rotational seat? It's French. Who's telling Faramijo, that man of that one there, who has a few days left? You know, who is telling Faramijo to oppose the same men who are building him a toilet? Kenya and AMISOM are building toilets for Faramijo to go in. Then Faramijo goes around walking around that he has also something. How can you be given a border, a bigger border, when you cannot control a toilet? Somalia is infested with terrorists. Al-Shabaab is killing people day and night. And you want an extra border for what? How will you keep it? With what? I don't want to say so many bad words. The children are still, watching some television games. This is a terrible thing in Africa. Africans should stand up condemn this type of thing. We cannot be subjected to humiliation every day. We cannot be subjected to direction. We cannot live by the hegemony of American or whatever it is, or French. We should live by ourselves. You see, the situation in Libya speaks volumes. General Haftar, how can a rebel have planes? Who controls these planes when they are in the sky?
Not just planes, but very sophisticated.
Sophisticated equipment, killing his own people. And this man called Muhammad Faki, this stupid man from Chad, with no education at all and on the height. He doesn't have education. He doesn't have the qualities to run African Union. He should leave African Union for us. We have intelligent people like PLO Lumumba. We have intelligent people like Amina Mohammed. We have intelligent people like that Amina Mohammed of Nigeria, who is in the United Nations. We have very many intelligent people who can run this than this tall guy who is empty. He's empty. He never went to school. Which school? Can he show he studied French? What has he studied? Did he study in Oxford or Cambridge or any of the universities that are known in the world? Where? Where?
So just a part of the statement that the AU issued this afternoon over the sacking of Ambassador Arikana Chihombori, it says that political appointees at the African Union, including Dr. Chihombori, are appointed at the discretion of the appointing authority. The duration of such political appointments is also determined at the discretion of that appointing authority. But since this ambassador received this letter, a lot of Africans have been wondering, and I'll read a tweet by former President of Ghana, Mr. Jerry Rawlings, but they've been wondering, who are this appointing authority at the African Union?
You see, the appointing authority is the guy. Look at who is going to replace this lady. Will come from a French-speaking country. Just put your eyes there. That's what is going to happen, and that is what is happening. And somebody. Let's listen to Mr. Biamukama. Mr. Biamukama, I don't support a dictator in Kampala. If you have a problem with Museveni, solve it. I tried to solve it, and you Ugandans insulted me. Especially the types of you. Biamukama, those names are the most dangerous. You are worse. You have never even criticized Besigye for the role he played in UPDF in maiming us in 1985. You think we have forgotten? You think we have forgotten what you did to us? So Biamukama, don't raise any stupid thing here. We are bitter. Some of us have lost parents. You are there just murmuring and shouting, oh, dictator in Kampala. Didn't Besigye work for the dictator? Didn't they tell him come to the platform? Where was he? He was a political commissioner of NRM. Was I a political commissioner of NRM? Stupid. Yes. I have never worked for NRM. Don't put me in stupid things. And if you don't want to watch this TV, close it. Close your eyes. But don't come here to bring your stupid things. Go and ask Besigye. Was I a Minister of State for Internal Security? Who locked up people and many people died? You think we have forgotten? We have not forgotten, my friend. Time is coming. You think you retouch that leadership? No. You will not. Don't come on because of you have only seen Facebook because of here, and then you write things that bring people agony. You have not lost your father as a result of Besigye's involvement in the NRM. Wasn't Besigye a political commissioner? Wasn't he? Wasn't he? Tell everybody. You go on now putting on a new dress and running around. You think everybody wants to run around with you? The bed you made for yourselves, sleep on it. Let Museveni teach you a lesson. I'm not going to stand here to oppose. These are the people, sorry Miriam, they worked for Museveni. Did Matanga work for Museveni? Have I ever applied for a job? Go and ask your BCJ. Don't ever come here on this line and say, oh, dictator in Kampala. Dictator, who made him? It's you. You are the people. Your name, your this name here. You are the people. You killed us and said we are Dugudu. We are black. We are Dugudu people. We are you people. You slaughtered us. You think we have forgotten? Don't bring it here. This is an international television station. I'm talking about the French. Contribute on the French fury. Don't contribute rubbish here. That dictator in Kampala, so what? You think singing music can overthrow a government? That boy does he know how to write even a document to rule Uganda? That's your problem. Go to school again. Don't bring your problem here. Thank you very much. Let's have a show.
All right. So, in response to the dismissal of Nkama Chihombora, this is what the former Ghanaian President Jerry Rawlings tweeted: the dismissal of Arikana Chihombori, AU ambassador to the United States, raises serious questions about the independence of African Union. For someone who spoke her mind about the detrimental effects of colonization and the huge cost of French control in several parts of Africa, this is an act that can be described as coming from French-controlled colonized minds. How can this shameful behavior emanate from us? A woman with all what it takes to galvanize our continent is chopped down by French colonized power mongers, good enough to be cleaners or pruning trees at the Ellis Palace. With leaders of this kind, how can this continent ever progress? Doctor, this is coming from the former president of Ghana, Mr. Jerry Rawlings, and he's come out, he's not even minced his word. He said this has come from French-controlled, colonized minds.
Yes, and I and Rawlings have the same blood. He's one, Rawlings, Chisano, Mbeki, they all support my views. There is nowhere I start speaking and Mbeki disagrees with me. He knows the lining. Chisano, Rawlings, we are going for this. The former presidents, we have to call a meeting and call the former presidents to come to Addis Ababa. We remove this money here. This guy has sold the African Union. He has sold it for some francs, some dollars. He gets dollars from Paris. The reports are on. They're here. Printed material, photographs, videos. The hotel where he goes, everybody follows. I have my network in Paris. It can even tell you what President Marcon is eating tonight. Yes. Don't think we went to school to do nothing. We have networks.
So who will benefit from her removal, Doctor?
Eh?
Who will benefit from Dr. Chihombori's removal as the AU ambassador to the United States?
Of course, it is the French. Mm-hmm. I told you they trained an intelligence network. They said Africa should have a united intelligence network. Kumbe, they were taking things from Africa. In a network, there is something in Ethiopia called that. Do you know who was heading it? I will tell you tomorrow because I have a full program on that man and everything because I've seen all that I was waiting for those documents from Addis Ababa intelligence network system. I got everything. I am gonna roast him here so that Africans can know, so that Mugabe can know, Mr. Mnangagwa can know he's in trouble. These are people who are very bad. I want to tell the truth. There is no... Look at Buhari. Look at Buhari. What Buhari is doing is worse. He doesn't even want to know anybody. He's now looking to marry a second wife. You know, people are dying. The whole of Southeast Nigeria is under fire. People are dying. And we cannot keep quiet. This is, diplomacy must know this. Human rights organization must know this. That in Amazonia, children for 4 years have never gone to school.
Very sad there.
Should I keep quiet? And then you come here that you are called Biomukama, Jomukama. What Biomukama if I find you? You don't know. You are the people who call. Now you turn, You know, they turn on Museveni and they say, he's a very bad man. Yet these Jomukamas were the ones eating. They came down there slaughtering us. With Besigye was a political commissioner. He will never rule Uganda. He will never. I'm telling you now today. He will not. He touched wrong people. He touched the blood. The Obote people were slaughtered like animals. We have not forgotten that. So don't tell me Besigye. Besigye my foot. Tell George Soros.
So Ambassador Chipohori has been very critical of France, Doctor. I think as much as you have been here, but I think she was not afraid. She took it even to the international platform over there in the US. And it is interesting to note that the currencies of several former West African French colonies are still tied to the French franc. This means that these countries really don't control their finances, their economies, and their destiny, which is very sad in countries in Africa where we still claim independence. Are we truly independent?
Let me tell you what independence, when your budget is being done in Paris.
Your economy is
Miriam,
controlled.
what independence, madam? There's no independence here. The budget is done in Paris. You are given peanuts. Then you are told that comb your hair. Have you noticed that most of the French West Africa comb hair and cut a road here? A road, we call it a road.
It's a road.
The road. Like your people from the lake. They have the road. French cut. You are
People still, Africans still have those.
Yes, French cut.
Oh, it's called a French cut.
I have one now, but mine is for Marines. It's for Marines because my background, I'm a soldier. I don't want to hide. For mine is Marine, not French cut.
Not a French cut.
But it's all West Africans educated. They have that cut here, the hairs, and then you put a road for the French car to drive through. That is how we colonized the world. That's why you see this guy, Musa Faki, the chairperson of African Union. He has very good height, but very poor brain. He's like a Maraga. He's like the Chief Justice of Kenya. Very, very good height, but zero brains. Honestly, Ana brain mzuri. He can't control the court. He can't. Hakuna pete. I speak the truth. Maraga cannot control the court. Why doesn't he live and live to some people? You see, Mutunga had an earpiece, but he had brains. But this is a man who goes to church and prays to God every Saturday. But when it comes to judgments that are going in his court, you have seen what he did today.
What did he do?
That the police cannot investigate corruption.
Who should? Police
I don't know.
should investigate.
So did this guy go to school?
So who should investigate?
No, did this guy Maraga go to school to study law, the penal code of Kenya? We might have brought somebody from a village and then dumped him into Chief Justice. Look at the problems we have. It's like a faki. I thought tall men have always got brains. You know, with the height you go, the higher you go, the cooler the brains become. Maybe they are frozen. Faki's brains are not worth it. I'm sorry. I'm not a diplomat to talk to him. And he knows I'll never come to Addis Ababa until he's overthrown. The first day after election, he is gone like this. I will fly and have a beer. I can go to Addis Ababa in Radisson, but I'll never visit the AU. I don't want to see that guy there. I want him out.
So some of the things that this lady was challenging was how the neo-colonialism relationship between the Western world and Africa, and particularly she was very hard and harsh on France, of course, which a lot of people seeing now that has costed her job. But some of these things she was challenging was that Africa has abundance when it comes to resources, and why should Africans continue and wait for help from outside? So she was challenging us to try and be independent. The same thing Thomas Sankara tried to do and costed him his life.
Yeah, that is what they do. That's what happens. They kill you. They overthrow you. Where is Bob? Where this president? Where is Bokassa? Where is Mabutu?
Lumumba also.
Where is Patrice Lumumba? We have never buried Patrice Lumumba. That's why we can never have peace in DRC Congo. Year in, year out, we have a problem. You see? Semakula says, I have heard the name of Besigye. I'm waiting for Bob Wine.
They had a meeting the other day. So they
Bob Wine is a younger man. He's practicing politics. He will sing at our coronation.
He ran away from the police using a motorbike.
Yes, I saw that. At least Bob Wine has not taken part in the NRM. He never worked for Museveni anywhere. But Besigye, to me, I have no credibility for him. I can't give him any credibility. Yeah.
And some of the laws
him and
formulated.
They have a, Besigye and Museveni have a problem which is personal. Don't bring it on me. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with, I had one thing with Museveni, and that problem between me and Museveni was the war. It ended. We ended the war. We shook hands. None of us talks to each other. We only talk if we meet at the AU. How are you? How are you? I go my way. Above all, he never paid me my allowances. The EU was going to pay my allowances. He told me a lie. He never paid my allowances. So what I've done, as long as peace is holding in Uganda, I thank God. And that's why I've lived longer. Maybe if I chased that allowances, I would have ended up in Lake Victoria. That's it. That's it. I talk frankly. President Museveni will not say he gave me the money. And I will sing this money. Because when I went back home, I found my house was going, you know how Wazungu bailiffs come. They are heavy. They are huge like this. 3/4 of them were waiting. To come and carry even everything. They leave you with the room. Bailiffs. Please. I worked for it. It was not a gift. So whoever ate it should give it to back to the president. Then the president called me and take cameras, pictures. I will take it. But as long as I live alive, I will talk about it. Anywhere we meet with President Museveni, if there's a chance, I remind him my money. And one of my children, now they have grown. Some of them are going to stand as MPs. I don't talk from these bankrupts on the streets. I have children. Very intelligent. That's it. I lost. So at times, Miriam, that's why I leave you to do your shows alone. Because there are certain people who ask questions like that, Biomukama. Does my name look like Biomukama? You don't know the pain I have. I cannot go and be party to dismembering Africa. People are getting money from George Soros. They bring it. You see, George Soros is paying every opposition leader including that smaller one. There's a smaller one in Zimbabwe who talks like a smaller thing, a fish that has come out of water. Have you ever seen when a fish is being caught by a hook? That is Chamisa. That one also wants to be a leader in Africa. Whom can you lead with that type of shoes and cloth?
And just for your information, Doctor, there's another plane. You mentioned DRC there, and maybe I should just, when you were away, a plane was reported missing that was coming from Goma, some parts of the DRC. It was not a military plane, but apparently it was running errands for the President Tshisekedi. So 57 minutes after takeoff, it was a small chopper. It's not been located. No crash was reported.
So where has it gone?
I have no idea. You understand DRC very well. Where is Goma? It was coming.
Goma is just near the Rwanda and near the Rwanda border. Down. Hey, where has it gone?
It was running the president's errands, but it was not a military plane, because I would think anything that concerns
you see, in the DRC, can I tell you, my daughter, my colleague, sorry.
It's okay.
In DRC, there are airfields that are not on Google Map. They carry diamonds, they carry coltan, they carry gold. Every night, every day. So that plane might have landed safely. Mm-hmm. And the occupants removed the cargo. Mm-hmm. And that's it. They might be driving back home to Ngoma. Because if it's not reported, mm-hmm. there should be planes searching for.
Nobody's searching.
Yes.
And so what I thought, maybe this is the government understand what's happening, because they're saying the plane, it was a small chopper, it was running some presidential errands, and you're thinking if the president, anything that concerns the president, you think perhaps it will be by an army, something to do with the military in the country to make sure that everything that concerns the president is safe. But this was a civilian chopper.
You see, Semakula wanted me, I will answer that, but Semakula wanted me to say something about Bob Wine. Bob Wine is a younger man. He's practicing politics. He's starting to practice. He went to parliament. He should be making laws instead of doing activism. Me, David Matsanga, I can do activism, which I do every day, because I'm not a member of parliament. But as soon as I become a member of parliament, mm-hmm. I respect myself with decorum.
Do you have ambitions of becoming a politician? No,
it is past me. It's only my sons and one of my daughters.
Is there an age limit?
No. Mm-hmm. No.
That was removed.
The constituency is not.
So you cannot say it's past you unless
my constituency, I have very powerful people.
Mm-hmm. So you served.
Yes, you can't pass the vote in my constituency without me. And I'm telling you, look at my eyes. Without me, if I'd vote that one, they will vote you. If any President Museveni brings 200 million in my constituency, let him check me. I give it to you today, 2021. The man I will support in my constituency will pass. That's how popular I am. Believe me or not these things here. They're basically getting 200 votes in his own home. No. Me, when I said do this, that's it. If you disobey me in that constituency, you will not eat again in terms of going to parliament. So I've passed that stage. I'm geared for Foreign Affairs Ministry. You know, Uganda's Foreign Affairs Ministry is free now.
Oh, he was fired.
Our minister cannot fly anywhere, so it's free. I can fly the flag of Uganda. I have the potential.
But has he been fired by the government?
No, I have the potential to do it. Mm-hmm. If people are not asking for this job.
No, we need him fired first.
President Museveni, I'm asking for this job. Give it to me. I will clean the name. You know, Americans need. Do you know what? My British professor who taught me political science told me this. If you are silent in Britain, you'll be a negative element. But if you speak, British people like people who speak, who have ideas. No wonder when I arrived there, I started speaking. Within a few months, I was elected a member of Croydon Central Constituency, delegate. Can you imagine that? A delegate in the Labour Party of a constituency beating Bazungu flat down. And I became a delegate in Brighton. It is Mr. Mugabe, the late Mugabe, who spoiled my chances. I would have been an MP direct from Croydon Central, the first African from the mountains of Elgon, eating sausage with the Queen. I had gone.
Abdisamad is really lamenting here.
He's lamenting with me.
No, but Agot is trying to encourage him there. But thank you guys for watching.
No, let Agot teach Abdisalam. He has found his match.
No, Agot is actually very
diplomatic.
Yes.
Abdisalam is never diplomatic. He comes for me, he supports me a bit, then he runs away, then he comes back.
He's a very loyal viewer here, so we appreciate
We appreciate you, sir.
Continue watching.
Top fan, it has been written here.
He's a top fan.
So thank you very much. AU has been captured. Miriam, east or west. Looking at the statement that the chairperson has written, it is a sad day for Africa. It's a day for Africa in the sad day in the sense that the chairperson did not explain in this statement. After calling them several times today, bombarding them on WhatsApp, a woman called Ebi Kalondo. I don't know where he comes from. That name looks like a somewhere from Malawi, or Kalondo is from some those places. I did not want even to listen to his accent. I would have known. I told her, you write a statement. Then later on, at about 15-something hours, they issued a statement. Useless statement. I'm going to answer them tomorrow with a detailed statement. And a copy to the Rawlings, copy to... Those are the former leaders are going to get these guys out.
And what I'm wondering is, I've not heard any African leader right now, any sort of heads of state come out and ask questions about this. Why can't our leaders, or of course, why can't they come out and speak up about this? And at least demand for reasons why this lady was fired.
I don't know. Everybody fears French. Everybody fears French. If Yamukama said this cushion hole is nothing, so why are you watching? Biamukama, I am not Besige, sir. So go and talk to Besige. I don't have a personal problem with Museveni. Besige has. Mumuloza fe tugenda kubabuulira amazima. Nafe tulina amazima getumanyi. Don't bring those problems on my television station, sir. If you want to watch, Besige himself is listening now. He's not talking like you are talking. You know the problem of African illiterate guys like this Biomukama, followers, sycophants. You know? It's like Kenya here, when you write corruption, a certain section of Kenyans, we know whom we are talking about. Then they know already he's corrupt. They harass you the whole day. You can't even eat food. So such people I don't want to entertain. If you want a discussion, continue watching, continue bringing your discussion. Tell us how Besigye can change Uganda. But don't just come to the television to insult Museveni on my television. No, he's a dictator. So what? You chose him. Why did you go to vote? Why don't you refuse like some of us refused? President Museveni has not come to force us to go and vote. No, you refuse and that vote counts. You go to election knowing very well you might collapse. So why, if you know that thing is not well organized, don't go there. And that's democracy. I I don't think Plato told the people that you should always vote. Where did Plato write? Where? So, Mr. Byamukama, thank you very much for your contribution. Wait for another discussion tomorrow. We shall not block you, and we shall not. We don't have tendencies of Idi Amin or Bokassa or Okero or what. Abiya, Paulo Kagame, and Famijo are the real current heroes. Look at that. This must be Nani. This must be Abdulhamid Ali.
Abdi Samad.
That they are the current heroes of what? I knew this is the guy.
Abi Ahmed. He received the Nobel Peace Prize over the weekend.
He said, Abdi Salamadi Ali said, I looked up the word corruption in the dictionary, the Kenya map popped up. Somalia is the most corrupt country in the world. Mm-hmm. You see?
Very close with South Sudan. But for obvious reasons, the lack of proper structures in the government there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mr. Byamukama, let's not prolong this discussion. My younger man, whatever you want to do, we have said what you say. You can also write something. Write something. We can respond to you, but not to bring it to judge or professionally. This is not a television like a Muzungu. Museveni is captured by the Americans. No one can unseat American dictators. Yes, you see, those are the suggestions we are talking about. But you see, why is captured?
So he has a backing.
No, yeah. If you touch Museveni will remove troops from Somalia, and the Al-Shabaab will come near Isili.
So that is the carrot is dangling.
Yes.
Okay.
Carrot and what?
It's dangling. Like
yes.
If you dare.
Museveni is very clever. You see? Museveni is a clever man. You can't touch him. He will just remove the troops. He will order 14,000 troops out of Somalia. America will run. Even the embassy they have just opened, they will abandon it. So he has a stake. He's played his politics very well.
There you go, Flex. So wonder here, you're saying Eba Kalondo is from Namibia. That is the spokesperson to the chairman of the African Union, the one who issued this statement.
Thank you very much.
On behalf of the AU.
Thank you very much, Kalondo. But the statement is shallow, naive, hollow, prudish, sardonic. I don't know which words you want me to use.
It did not get to
answer. She didn't answer.
A lot of questions that
Sonda, tell her, she did not answer anything. She did not tell us the reason why. Either she did not tell us that her term of office was a 3 years contract. Mm-hmm. She has been terminated. The statement is very shallow, hollow. It leaves us with our petition. And I encourage people to sign the petition.
Right now, it's almost hitting 35,000.
Yes, let's go to millions. Mm-hmm. Then we put a vote of no confidence in the chairperson of African Union. And that's it. We shall sponsor it. It will work. We shall throw this tall Chadian man out of our building. If he was playing with me, he has got it now. I'll put fire now. We want to sign more. Mm-hmm. If you think I don't have muscles, you see how many people. I just rang the bell a few days ago. By tomorrow and the end of the week, we shall have 1 million signatures in Africa. Sign the petition. We want that guy out. I told you, you don't touch Matanga, I have a banana. I'll roll you. You can't roll me in the mouth. Another one has said you can't talk about corruption without defining Nigeria. Where?
Nigeria.
You see that? Mm-hmm. It is true.
Yes, that is also is very true.
Mm-hmm. Nigi Maguth, Kenya has a chance for dialogue but refused. Which dialogue? What? Abdul Salam, you are still on the island. This water has been there for a long time. Did you also know that it was for Somalia? No.
Let's I think who is this? Agot is doing a very good job there communicating.
Agot, come back. Abdul Salam is here.
So let's just leave that there. But Ntungala El Galapia is saying, how can you remove someone from office without a reason? The lady is the daughter of the century for Africa, and you've seen it has created a lot of, conversation, especially on social media. And Africans are not happy by her removal, especially having that no reason was given. And the letter, that the response from the African Union is very ambiguous. It did not address a lot of the questions that Africans were asking out there. So they're just saying the appointment is at the discretion of the appointing authority. And people are wondering, this appointing authority, who is it under and who is influencing even some of these appointments by the African Union? And so far, we've not seen any African head of state coming out, except the former, head of state there of Ghana, Mr. Jerry Rawlings, has come out and he's not minced his words, and he said this is coming from French-controlled, colonized minds, and a host of others. But we've not seen any current seating African leadership, unless they've tweeted now, I don't know, come out and question this and pour water on this. So, we're all captured, apparently. Or our leaders there, they can't speak about this matter and the unfairness and the injustice that this is. So, but the letter by the African Union and
Mr. Mr. Mawanda makes a very serious allegation here towards the end of the program. You can read it. Mr. Mawanda thinks I'm in bed with Museveni.
Omuteten Kanya, he's saying, Doctor, I'm a bit puzzled when it comes to the politics of Uganda. All the diplomats like you are either in bed with the government or completely silent. And when someone comes up to run against the government, the so-called elites will direct their guns towards the individual. Don't you think that don't you think, let me just look for it, it appears that I've lost it somewhere there. Oh, Lord. Oh, I got it. Don't you think that the so-called elites are responsible for the wars in our country? I think
I agree with you, but I'm not a diplomat. I'm not a Ugandan diplomat.
And you're not in bed with the government.
And I'm not in bed with the government. The last I know is that I'm a member of Uganda People's Congress with my card since 1968. Thank you. I still have the card.
Yes. Bishop Mano, thank you. I'm a bit soft. You can't compare my volume with that of Doctor. For him to do what he does, he has to he has to make sure.
Miriam is the coolant.
Yes, so I'm like,
yes,
yeah.
She's the coolant. She's the one who cools me down.
I just try to bring a middle ground here so that we don't burn the whole house. Okay, so. So bear with me, but I'll try to raise my
Someone
voice.
is saying that Mnangagwa is sending millions to Russia. Which one?
From where? He needs the money.
The man wants the money. How can he send money again?
Is he receiving millions from Russia or he's sending millions to Russia? Which one? Which one? The last time I checked, the doctors refused to go to work, even after the court ordered for them to go back because they're not paid very well. Doctors there, I was reading some news here the other day, Doctor, while you were away, they're paid $200,000. $200. A doctor who has gone to school for I don't know how many years. So for is Zimbabwe receiving money from Russia or is Russia sending money to Zimbabwe? Which one? But thank you so much for for watching us. All right. All right. So anyway, that is what we were talking about today. So questions about why this lady was dismissed and who benefits from her removal, where African head of states even consulted for her to have been dismissed. Who called for the shot, or is it Africa or the people of African descent? Who is behind the firing? Of course, now we see by the tweet of former Ghanaian president there, Jerry Rawlings, coming out and calling out France on it. A doctor has been very categorical, and all things fingers or points to France because she has been very, very, critical about France and the manner in which it operates in Africa on her former colonial, countries. And she started by saying France should return all the artifacts it took from 14 African countries while it was, colonizing them in the 1960s. So that sort of brought her into limelight. And, France was not very happy. So let's just perhaps wait for, French response over this matter. Will France even dare to respond over this?
Thank you very much, viewers. Thank you very much. There we are. We're still going on. What do you think about Sierra Leone? I am coming. More African countries. And by the way, gentlemen, wherever you are, we need more correspondents. We need you to have your laptop, Skype, and that's it. Mm-hmm. And you Skype and here. We can accommodate at least 5 Skype
at a time.
At a time. Mm-hmm. And you can all be talking on a daily basis. Instead of us, maybe.
Did you see that? You're a CIA agent.
Again, I have been put there because...
You're a lot of things today.
Yes. CIA, me. They don't like me. MI6 doesn't like me. So, Matanga is Africa served for the... Thank you very much, brother. I wish I had that rank.
We are served on a platter. It's not even fair.
Yes. Oh, yeah?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you go out there and look for that petition and sign it. So far, it's supposed to...
Sign the petition. Sign. We want 1 million signatures calling for removal of man from Chad. Remember, the president of Chad was also paid money. He what from that desert are thieves, all of them.
That scandal.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, president of Chad was paid money to look for oil in Africa. See the president, Africa president. How? Me, I wish, you know why I'm poor like this? It's that God told me live longer. Mm-hmm. How can an African president go there to collect money?
Someone is asking here, what do you have to say about Sudan? And do you know, in the morning, Doctor, before you got in here, what we were talking about? South Sudan President Salva Kiir was advising Sudan to make sure that the players in the peace process in Sudan that is still continuing with other fractions, to make sure that they have a goodwill when they're having this conversation. South Sudan President was advising Sudan. And,
yeah, but...
the ridiculousness.
No, because he knows he's right. He knows if Sudan breaks out, mm-hmm. South Sudan is dead.
But it is the goodwill that has been lacking in between him that has made Machar not to feel comfortable to come back to Juba. Can he start the goodwill in South Sudan first before he can even advise Sudan to have a goodwill for them to see that the peace process, whatever they get to have a stable country, they should have a goodwill. The leadership should have. How dare he? Well, he has lacked that, and that is what has brought South Sudan to where it is today.
Yes, South Sudan is in a state of coma
because lack of goodwill.
Yes, in coma, and you know what is going to happen to South Sudan.
Yes.
Salva Kiir, you better talk to me quickly.
Well, 12th is almost here.
Yeah, no, I want to save this Mzee from all this problem. Don't pay Reinberg a penny. Pay Matanga. You will see the whole thing will be. I am more liked than Reinberg. I'm more liked in Africa. I am more liked than Reinberg. There's no African country where I go where anybody hates me. Tanzanians are calling me here to go and have a talk and open up a television station there like this. Zimbabwe. Ghana. Khartoum. People, Dr. Mukhtar, Khalifa Mukhtar is in, not Khalifa, Dr. Mukhtar. Abdi Milk Mukhtar is in Khartoum. He wants us to open up a television there of this nature. So sign that petition. My fellow Africans, sign a petition. We have so far 35,000 in a day. Let's sign and show that Mr. Faki is not worth to be a chairperson of African Union.
So the petition is for the reinstatement of the African Union ambassador to the United States, Dr. Arikana Chihombori, who was, she was removed from her seat unceremoniously.
Without a reason.
Without reason at all.
The spokeswoman doesn't tell us the reason why she was. What was she? What did she steal somebody's dress in America? We pay. If she stole, she's not a thief. You just come and say you are terminated. They haven't quoted the contract that said 3 years. How? Why was she terminated abruptly?
Very ambiguous. They've not given the details on what law, what rule she breached. At least that should have been explained for us Africans, because we expect she was representing us there, not just the leadership of African Union. She was representing Africa there. So I think they owe us an explanation, and we're demanding for it.
Thank you very much, viewers. Thank you very much wherever you are, Miriam. Unless you have another question.
Oh no.
Thank you very much. We've done it. Tomorrow.
Yes.
There you are. Don't forget, on Thursday we have the punch. If you have any topic that you want us to discuss, go on the petition. The petition is on Zim-I. We have placed it on Zim-I. Petition.
Just Google Dr. Arikana Chihombori petition.
Google Dr. You tell them.
Arikana Chihombori petition. You'll just find it there. Just Google, you'll find it there. It will take you right. You'll get a link. Go there and keep signing, because until we're given an explanation, we need her reinstated. Otherwise, it's not going to be business as usual there in the African Union, because when you see some voices talking, I think by tomorrow you'll see even more reactions, and we'll give you the latest and up-to-date tomorrow. During Good Morning Africa show, we'll let you know what's really has happened and what has developed since on this matter.
A God I am not. I am a Pan-African direct.
Abdisamad has planted some doubts.
Now, Abdisamad, you are planting doubts. At least I have nothing to hide, because I speak openly. You can't be insulting your masters every day. They will not give you food. Yeah. So, okay, thanks. God bless you. Thank you for your insight. Thank you very much, Mr. Chidewezi.
Cliff Chedavaisi.
Yes.
What's her name there? Is it from Zimbabwe?
Zimbabwe, yes.
Okay, and Godson Chukuma, thank you so much, and God bless you too. And Perajo, we haven't seen you here in a while. Thank you for watching. And Dundi Ume also, we cannot forget to just mention it there. And of course,
Dundi Ume is a very good guy. He has been with us. African leaders are insensitive to the plight of the people. That could be Abdallah Sam. Okay.
It's not. That's Ndundi. And also somebody here called, what's the name here? Odi Richard also. I think you've been here for a while. Thank you so much for your company, guys. And Odili Bartholomew Onye and the rest of you. It's too many of you. We can't leave.
And Parejo Show has been with us.
I know. I think I've mentioned it. We haven't seen him here for a while.
For a while.
Happy to see you, buddy. Thank you for joining us. Yeah.
Tomorrow at 11 o'clock, we shall look. On Thursday, we shall look at Biafra.
Yes.
Prospects of peace. Buhari is slaughtering people while we are quiet. So prospects of peace. So on Thursday, during daytime, Miriam will tackle that topic together with me.
All right.
Thank you very much. God bless, and God bless you. God bless you. I've taken half of your sleep.
Yes, no, it's okay.
But this station, therefore, is for Africa, by Africa, with Africa. Ciao.
Sure.